politics, there's a polarization. People like when you are fighting with people who think differently than you. But I refuse to do that.
I love her transparency, and her stand is a strong stand on what she believes in, even though it could bring in attacks. But to be true to yourself and to be honest to your voters, that's very important.
Well, I'm really excited about her vision that she brings to Canada. I'm excited about her leadership. I'm excited about the fact that she won the popular vote last time around. I think she's a star candidate. She's somebody that brings gravitas to the situation, and she's somebody that can unite Canada and bring us a conservative victory in Ottawa.
Sheila Gunn, Reid for Rebel News. It is Saturday morning, and I'm here just west of the capital city of Edmonton, Alberta, at Parkland Emmanuel Christian School, because I heard through the grapevine that there will not only be pancakes here this morning, but also politicians for me to ask questions to. You see, Conservative Party leadership candidate Dr. Leslyn Lewis is on a several-day visit to Wild Rose Country, and she's hosting a bit of a meet and greet with 500 of her closest friends at this Christian school this morning to talk to supporters and perhaps even convert some of the undecided. I'm here to talk to the crowd, of course, to cover Dr. Lewis's speech, and hopefully, if she has a minute, ask Dr. Lewis a few questions that have been pressing on my mind. And you know what? If they're pressing on my mind, then I bet they're pressing on yours too. Now, Rebel News has made a promise to you to provide you on-the-ground journalism from the Conservative leadership race, to support our independent journalism on the campaign trail, and to follow along with all of our reports. Please visit leadershipreports.ca. All right, I'm headed into the crowd to check it out.
And I was somehow given the foresight to know that I couldn't sit back and wait for the right person, for the perfect person, for someone who was a member of parliament already, for someone who was entrenched in the Conservative Party. I had zero forces to support me, but I knew who walked before me. And I knew that if I was called to do something, I was going to stand up and I was going to defend and make sure that Canadians have a voice and that we secure the future of our country.
So you came to the Leslyn Lewis event today. Are you a decided voter?
Yes, I know who I'm voting for.
I'm undecided right now.
Are you a decided voter?
Mostly. It's still very important to support the other three pro-life candidates because each vote counts. And ultimately, who wins? Only God knows.
And when the media is an arm of the leading party, it has to be corrected. And if it needs to be funded, it must be funded.
So, did you folks learn anything new today?
I got to see the passion that Leslyn has. You know, I think that was a one big thing that really showed. You know, I've seen her before, but I haven't seen her in person. So I just saw the passion that she has for Canada, which is very important.
I love her transparency, and her stand is a strong stand on what she believes in, even though it could bring in attacks. But to be true to yourself and to be honest to your voters, that's very important.
She confirmed a lot of what I already knew.
What do you like best?
Her articulate manner, and she sees things for what they are, and she's very authentic. So I'm very inspired.
I understand all her positions, and I really liked how she focused on moving from, this could divide us, but there's 100 other things as Conservatives that we can agree on. So let's focus on using those to move our party forward, and we can deal with these behind the scenes, but there's 100 things that we can focus on and fix and work together, opposed from these 1, 2, 3 issues that you may disagree with me on. And so it creates a nice bridge as a politician to say, no, this is my authentic self. I'm not going to hide away from that. But that doesn't define just my position. There's all of these other things that we can work with.
That in politics, there's a polarization. People like when you are fighting with people who think differently than you. But I refuse to do that.
it's nice to hear. It's refreshing.
You know what else was refreshing was hearing that she got something wrong when she talked about the unanimous consent on the conversion therapy bill. She said that, you know, if she could do it again, that she would have voted against it instead of allowing unanimous consent. We never hear that from politicians these days.
Yeah, it's always, no, we did no wrong. Whereas now with where she was like, you know what? Yeah, we messed up. We didn't read to see the other little things they slipped in. Like, I know from talking with my MP before in Bill C4 or BC6, they had provisions for pastors and doctors and whatnot. And this new one, they didn't. They slipped those back in. And it's nice to see someone say, you know what? Yeah, we messed up. We made a mistake. We're sorry. Can we fix it? We will work. We need government. We need to form a government to fix it, but we did mess up, so let us fix it.
And I proudly stated I am pro-life, and yes, I'm a Christian.
She got a big round of applause for saying she was pro-life, which, I mean, should come as no surprise. This is at a Christian school. But I think people more than anything appreciate the honesty. We knew Andrew Scheer was pro-life, but he never talked about it. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm just really proud of her. I'm just very thankful for the fact that she stood up for pro-life, and she's very enthusiastic and very bold about her position. I think that's just awesome. I'm really actually very impressed.
I'm running for provinces who feel that they've been utterly disrespected by Ottawa. And they're right. When we have legislation like Bill C-48 and Bill C-69 that favors foreign companies over companies in Alberta, and that's chasing companies out of this country because of the lack of faith in our laws and the insecurity that these corporations have in investing in our provinces like Alberta. We need to repeal legislation like Bill C-48 and Bill C-69 so that we can start to develop our natural resources again.
She addressed a question that if she had had time, I would have asked her, and that was about her research on the Paris Accord. There are a lot of musings out there that she's supportive of the Paris Accord, but she actually said that she doesn't think these big global compacts on climate change are the way to go. What do you think about that?
You know what? There's so much on climate change, and it's not been well researched. I've seen, in fact, some of the amazing things that people are doing in Canada to affect, you know, that impact, you know, when we're the impact on the environment. I'm just really sad that people don't see what people are doing in Canada, and there's other countries in the world that are doing absolutely nothing, but Canada is always being attacked, you know, and we work really hard to keep our environment as clean and as, you know, refurbished and grow things back. You know, 20 years, you look at all the places that they've, you know, excavated up north, and you see the beautiful green, you see the wildlife back, you see all that, and it's not acknowledged. And so that's very frustrating.
You know, it was interesting to hear, and actually quite bold of Dr. Lewis to tip her hat to President Trump, who pulled out of the Paris Accord, but then his emissions went down. That's rare, because that name is sort of verboten in Canadian politics.
Not verboten with me.
No.
Or me.
Yeah. We're Trump lovers.
We're Trump lovers, all of us. And
Absolutely,
if we were Americans, which we're not, we're Canadians, we'd be voting for Trump. We think that he did a great job for the United States of America.
What does it profit you? All of your wealth, all of your support, everything that you have, your home, your car. What does it profit you if you lose your children? We need a parental rights bill. We need an overarching national legislation that will encroach, that will go into every crevice, every level. It will go into provincial and municipal. It will enable parents to stand up for the right to raise their children in accordance with their values.
And it's generally an inspiration for all of the things that I've been working on in Parliament Hill. And she has assured me that the fight against human trafficking, one of the things that I work on extensively at Parliament Hill, will be a big part of the Leslyn Lewis government.
I'm here with MP Arnold Viersen. Arnold, you've been public in your support of Dr. Lewis. Why?
Well, I'm really excited about her vision that she brings to Canada. I'm excited about her leadership. I'm excited about the fact that she won the popular vote last time around. I think she's a star candidate. She's somebody that brings gravitas to the situation, and she's somebody that can unite Canada and bring us a conservative victory in Ottawa.
She got so much of her support in the last campaign from the West, and I kind of like that she busts those preconceived notions about Westerners that were sort of backward hillbillies, we're anti-immigration, we're anti-woman, we're anti-person of color, but we were more than willing as Westerners to throw our support behind Dr. Lewis. And when I say we, I'm meaning the royal we, not me at Rebel News. I'm independent in all of this.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I think she's a breath of fresh air. She's something. She's got that like non-politician feel to her. She's somebody that's authentic, and I'm really excited to be supporting her and on her team, bringing her to be the Prime Minister of Canada.
And she answered some tough questions from the crowd. People asked her about her previous work and her analysis on the Paris Accord. And I think she might be the only person in the entire country who's written more about the Paris Accord than me. And she said, maybe these big global treaties are not the way to do things when it comes to controlling emissions.
Yeah, like I said, I'm very excited to be supporting Leslyn Lewis.
Well, that's a wrap here at Parkland Emmanuel Christian School for Dr. Leslyn Lewis. You can tell this is a church function because the second you stand up, someone takes your chair and puts it away. She unfortunately had to hurry quite quickly to a next function, a private function where I cannot attend. So I didn't get a chance to ask her some questions, but I'm sure she'll be back, and I'm sure that we will catch up with her as the campaign rolls on. For Rebel News here at Parkland Emmanuel Christian School, covering a Leslyn Lewis campaign event, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Rebel News has made a commitment to our viewers to cover the Conservative leadership campaign fairly and honestly, to see all of our reports, but to also support our independent journalism because, as you know, we will never take a dime from Justin Trudeau. Please visit leadershipreports.ca.